When taking a test that requires the use of truth tables, it can be a little bit confusing because they're only asking you to give information about one particular row. So remember, when you start the exam, after you have your clean sheets of scrap paper that you've shown in the for respondus, then the first thing you want to do for this unit is to write down those and, or, if then, the truth statements. And they're easy to remember because with the and, the only one that is true is when both P and Q are true. All the others are false. So you can recreate that quite easily. With the or, the only thing you remembered was if they're all false, then the or is false. So therefore you can recreate this. And the PQ is if both are, or if the first is true, then the other is false, is the only time when the implication is false. So keeping that in mind and referring to this, now this becomes a lot easier to do because what we have here is we have R, this symbol represents R or Q. So we have a false or a false, and we know that that is false. So now we look at this. Let me make this just a little bit heavier so that you can see it better. Okay. So now we need to take this one and P, and it's asking the question and. So if true and false, and we look over here, true and false is false. And we've completed that one. Now 3-1 is a little bit more difficult because we need to work on this, but they're only doing them 2 at a time, so it's still just as easy. The negation of A, of true, is false. The negation of B is true. The negation of A with or C, so this is this one and this one together, going to make this one here. So we have a C, which is false, and an A, a not A, which is false. So we have a false or false, false or false, and false or false is false. Now we have A, just A here, and not B, not B. So we take these two together. Okay, so we have this one was false and false. So we have a true statement and the other one, which is true and true is going to be true. Now we put all of it together. This one is this, it is false. And this is an or. This one, which is this one, which is true. And when we have an or, a false or a true statement, we have a true statement. So you can do this quite easily if you just take your time and look at the coding for and, or, and if then. And once you understand those and you've memorized those yellow ones, you can recreate these at the drop of a hat, and then these problems become pretty easy for you. Just take your time. Thank you for your attention to this.